Go on to perhaps a more light-hearted game, because I like to keep in touch. We test Graeme and Jeremy's knowledge of various aspects of British culture. We're going to start with you, Graeme, this week. You've got 90 seconds to see how many questions you can get right on the subject of food, and your time starts now. How do you warm up a Pop-Tart?
You tell her you're a footballer.
Good answer, but I'm afraid no points. It's in a toaster. What's ciabatta?
It's that big hairy thing in Star Wars. A Wookiee. made of bread.
I'll give you a point for the bread. Yes, a point for Italian bread. Well done. What do you eat on Burns night?
Vindaloo.
Nothing there. It's haggis, neeps and tatties. Who claimed one is fun?
Her Majesty the Queen.
Well, the answer is Delia Smith, but I can accept that as a description of her. What are pigs in blankets?
They're sleeping policemen.
Nothing there, I'm afraid. They are apparently American sausage rolls. Why might you have smeg in your kitchen?
It's a form of white goods.
I can accept that. Yes. It's a brand of kitchen appliance.
Yeah.
I was just worried there. It's a bit of product placement. But what's offal?
You are, but I like you.
And I have to penalise you for illegal use of somebody else's catchphrase. All right, it's edible organs. Oh, that's the liver and kidney. So, well done, Graeme Garden. You've got 3 points. OK, let's switch to Jeremy. Your subject is sex, and you have 90 seconds. More than enough, I would have thought. And your time starts now. Who was the first page 3 girl?
Anne of Cleavage.
Gilly Johnson was the answer we're looking for. Where can you marry animals?
Norfolk.
That's relatives. In fact, it's California is apparently the answer. They marry animals to each other. What did David Mellor famously wear in bed?
An expression of plaintive gratitude.
I'll give you that. We have his Chelsea strip, but I think that was a made-up story.
In a paper bag.
I'm giving you a point. Paper bag, yes, yes. Who was paid $12 million to do a striptease?
Sophie Rhys-Jones.
We have Demi Moore, I'm afraid. What part of London is associated with the illegal sex trade?
The street corners.
Anywhere more specific than that?
Well, close to the road.
No, Soho is what the answer was. Who do men seldom make passes at?
Robbie Fowler.
I'll give you a point for that. We had girls who wear glasses. Who was seduced by a donkey?
Mrs. Donkey.
Mrs. Donkey. How sweet. Well, we've got Titania in Midsummer Night's Dream. I'm not sure he's actually seduced, but that's what we're looking for. What's swinging? What is swinging? Correct. Partner swapping. Oh, that's it. Well done. You've got 3 points as well, so that's a dead heat. OK, let's open the show to our audience now in time for questions. Does anyone here have a question for our panel? Yes, sir.
Who do you think should be the new London mayor, and do you think he'll have any real powers?
Graeme.
My own bet would be William Hague.
William Hague?
Well, he'll be looking for a job soon enough.
Are we using this P word?
Yes.
By the way.
Yeah.
What about Mayor of London might be a woman?
Indeed.
I.e. me.
The important thing is that whoever I choose to be mayor, that Londoners support that decision and abide by it.
Yes. Where do you stand on Ken Livingstone?
Around the neck.
Yes. All right, let's move on to another question. Yes, lady there's got a question. A hand up very quickly.
Do you think Viagra should be rationed on the NHS?
Should Viagra be rationed on the NHS? Graeme, I want to ask you about this. You're a bit of an expert on this subject, aren't you?
I am. No, quite the reverse. It should be pumped into the water supply.
Yes.
And at least would keep the unemployed happy.
Yeah. That's it. That's your election manifesto, is it?
It is, yes. We're standing on that.
Yes.
I have to say, I think it's a terrific idea. There should be as much of it about as you can get. I personally had quite a lot before this show, and I can tell you that normally this desk is a couple of inches lower, I have to say.
Just a couple of inches.
Tragically,
yes. Yes, the gentleman over there.
Yes, if all the dogs were taken out of Battersea Dogs Home, what or who would you place in the kennels?
Oh, this is a complicated question. Who do you want to put in prison, is what you're basically saying, in small kennels?
Let him ask the question he wants to ask.
I was repeating the question to give you time to come up with a witty and interesting answer.
I was having a go at you to give me even more time. Well, I think we should put cats in there. There are too many cats in there. Cats everywhere. I mean, basically, you see dogs with homeless people, don't you? You don't see cats with homeless people.
No.
So they're not as nice. Well, therefore, they're not as nice. They're not loyal, you know. They'd go back to the place, they'd say, this is where you live, I'm out of here, I'm not interested.
Where are the dogs going?
Well, the question just said they were taken out and...
Oh, I'm sorry, we can't have
where are
homeless
they going?
dogs.
Ilford.
They're going to Ilford. You've got a whole thing worked out here. Completely pointless and bizarre. So you've solved that. The dogs are going to Ilford.
Well, I think the people of Ilford should obviously go in there. I mean,
Well, yeah.
Surely they should go to the Isle of Dogs. And have their own hunter-gatherer society there. Or licking their own genitals and drinking toilet water society.
Any more questions? Don't have to be completely wacky like this. A lady there in a...
What's your stand on prostitution, being politicians as you are?
What's your style?
No. It's not that close.
Stance?
Stance, yes.
Stance is sort of like that, isn't it?
Oh, hang
Prostitution.
On a minute. That's a good way of answering the last question, because we could recycle Battersea Dogs Home into kind of the London's first state brothel. Get the dogs out and get...
Just still keep the same name, I suppose. But what's your policy in the Blue Party on prostitution? You've made an in-depth study of this, Graeme, haven't you?
Indeed, I was in charge of a working party. And very good she was, too.
Yeah. The Red Party, where do you stand on this?
Clearly, we've got to get the prostitutes off the street, gather them all up, put them in a van and take them to Ilford.
Yeah. So will you be introducing measures into the House of Parliament for this?
I'll certainly be moving to Ilford.
Yes. Well, I think that's about all we're going to get on our question time. Thank you very much, everybody. Let's get everyone to the pager round. In this round, I'll be interviewing Graeme and first Jeremy, and their performance will be constantly monitored by their party spin doctors, and they'll be sending through advice and suggestion via their pages, and we better follow this by looking at our television screens. Now, Jeremy, the budget. It's traditionally the moment in the year when the government can transform the economy. What big single measure is going to transform the economy in tomorrow's budget?
Well, without wanting to preempt it, I'm going to tell you what's in it.
Yes.
We hope to actually have a lower rate of tax, a starter rate of tax of 10p for children.
For children?
A starter rate, because they're paying nothing on their substantial benefits. It's something for nothing. And 10p, tens on units, is easy for them.
So what is the idea here, to get them used to paying tax, or are you trying to raise a lot of money?
Send them out to steal, isn't it? And frankly, this way...
But we've never had taxes.
No,
we've never had taxes for children.
We have had taxes.
No, we haven't.
No, we have had
Look, it's always been only people in work.
Children climbing up chimneys. What is that if that is not taxation of the... Mr. Anderson, answer the question.
I'm not...
Is it?
I'm asking a question.
Is it not? Well, answer your own question.
Victorian values. This is ridiculous.
I prithee, sir. Vex me not with this tiffle-taffle, for it is my trusted colleague here.
What about...
Yes, I have to say that my colleague here has let me down very badly.
In what sense?
I am not standing by him, because he is responsible for everything. Everything that's bad and evil in the world, all wickedness.
What about the economy?
All unsolved crimes in history.
What about the economy, which is stagnating,
Good
isn't
question.
it? Well, aren't you going to do something about it, or have you given all control over to the Bank of England now, so you can't affect things like interest
Gordon Brown
rates?
suffers violent mood swings, and we did think it was necessary. We did think it was necessary. Somebody like Gordon needs some stability in his life, needs to slow down, to relax, to look deeply, straight ahead.
I don't know if you were being terribly boring, but I'm feeling terribly, terribly sleepy.
You are feeling drowsy. I won't want to smoke again.
I've never wanted to smoke.
But every time somebody says increase in fee, you'll wet yourself.
I've I've always done that as well. But now, can you just get us back to the budget and its formulation?
Well, one of the important things that will have to be announced is that we will need to take control of the radio stations.
Why? I thought you said last week the economy was going very well.
The economy is going marvellously well.
So you're going to make it go badly with your budget, are you?
But with a volcano of this size,
yeah,
threatening to unleash dinosaurs upon the Earth, the only thing the Home Secretary can possibly do is
Are you feeling all right, Mr. Hardy?
I'm feeling slightly trippy, but I've been in power for a couple of years.
Yes. I did really want to know about the fiscal measures you're planning to bring in, because most budgets put up the taxes on petrol, on smoking, on wine, the whisky industry. Are you doing anything to help them?
Well, there is something I've always wanted to try, but I've never been convinced it's physically possible.
Yes.